Hey there guys, welcome to the video. Have you ever felt that your aim feels a little bit wonky and not as sticky as it should be? Have you been failing some gunfights and not being able to get those sweet quad feeds? Have you ever been on such a high gun streak that you thought you were gonna get the nuke, but at some point your aim kind of failed you and you're not able to clutch that beautiful and elusive MGB nuke rocket kill streak? Well, in today's video, I've come to the rescue. My name is Hero. Welcome to another video. And today's video, I want to show you guys the absolutely best controller settings to help you perform at the highest levels in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. I've dropped over 200 nukes on Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, and I have a nuke with almost every single gun in the game. In fact, you guys can actually look on my channel and pretty much most likely find one on the gun that you're trying to look for. And with these controller settings, I have everything right that 99% of controller players are playing Modern Warfare 2 wrong, and only 1% are using my current settings. So if you want to join that 1% and maybe increase that to 2% or whatever the case is, and you guys want to perform at the best of your abilities in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, well, you've come to the right channel. In fact, these controller settings could probably help you on Warzone 2 as well, because Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 have very shared engines. So if you're a Warzone 2 player looking to get better as well, definitely look into these settings. Make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications, especially if you're looking forward to more nuke gameplays from me and maybe tips and tricks like this. I really appreciate you for taking the time to just watch this video, and I hope this video helps you. Without further ado, let's go ahead and show you my ultimate controller settings on Modern Warfare 2 since the Season 1 Reloaded update. Before we go into my crazy controller settings, do keep in mind some of these controller settings are personal preference at the end of the day. You might use something else that's a little bit better for you, and I use something that's a little bit better for me. So at the end of the day, some of these settings are going to be personal preference. I'll let you know which ones aren't, because there are some settings that you should have on that are statistically better than the other settings. But at the end of the day, some of these are going to be mostly based on your own feel of the game and the way you play the game. So hopefully that makes sense. So without further ado, let's go over my controller button layout. I actually play on bumper, jumper, tactical, flipped. A lot of people have their own, sort of characteristics when it comes to this. Some of us play with default, tactical. Some of us play with like stick and move or whatever. You can use whatever works for you, but I play on bumper, jumper, tactical, flipped because I'm pretty much able to jump shot with L2 very easily, allowing me to, have an edge over my opponents in that way. I aim in with L1, shoot with R1, and then when I try to slide or drop shot, I just press R3. This is no special controller or anything, so this is the type of, button layout that I use to make it feel kind of like a special controller and allow me to jump shot and drop shot with ease while still maintaining my aim on my enemies. And I've used this since Black Ops 3, so I've been using it since 2015, since 7 years ago. And I've been very proficient in my gameplay ever since I switched back to it back during the jetpack games, and it still proves me well in these boots on the ground games. So that's my personal preference. You could use it, but do keep in mind that you do have to get used to it. It took me like a couple of weeks to get used to it, but once you master it, you'll be jump shotting, drop shotting fools like crazy. I flip the L1 and L2, R1 and R2 because I'm just used to playing that way. You could obviously unflip it if you do. I play with my controller vibration off because I don't like the way my controller feels when I'm trying to control recoil. I feel like when you have it off, you're able to control recoil better. That's just a personal preference thing. You can have it on if you want. When it comes to horizontal stick and vertical stick sensitivities, I like running on 8. This is definitely going to be personal preference. I just like it on 8 because it's not too fast and not too slow. You can play on a really high sensitivity like 20 and you'll be able to turn on people very easily, but will your aim be good? That's another personal, sort of vendetta you can have against yourself. And then on the flip side, you can also play on a 1 sensitivity or a very low sensitivity, and you can be very accurate, but you won't be able to turn on people if they, manage to be behind you enough. So I like being at 8 because the perfect medium between super fast and super slow. So once again, it's personal preference. Try out whatever sensitivity might work for you. But at the end of the day, just make sure that you can aim. That's what matters at the end of the day. Another important setting that I like to point out is automatic sprint should be off. If you play with automatic sprint on, that's just not good because when you're automatically sprinting, you have a disadvantage against campers. And you guys know Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 has a ton of campers. So I definitely recommend you to have automatic sprint off so you have more control over your player, and thus you have more increased reaction time. You can turn on fools faster, especially if they're camping around corners. Now, when it comes to interact/reload behavior, this is also very important. If you're playing multiplayer, I would say tap to reload or prioritize reload is going to be the way to go. But if you're playing Warzone, do prioritize interact because this allows you to loot faster, and you'll have an edge over your opponents if you're able to loot really quickly. So either the reload options for multiplayer, either the interact options for Warzone 2. When it comes to armor plate behavior, make sure you guys have this at apply all. That way you can apply all your armor plates when you're playing Warzone 2. It helps you a ton. Now for the advanced controller settings, you want to have target aim assist on. When you have this on, you'll have a lot more sticky aim, and you'll be able to aim at your opponents extremely easily, thus giving you the fastest kills possible. Aim assist type, I recommend the Black Ops aim assist. Either Black Ops or default. You can have a feel for both, but statistically, Black Ops is just a bit better according to JGod. He made a video on this like some time ago. And so I stuck to Black Ops since, and my aim has been nothing short of amazing. I get a lot of kills with aim assist, and you know, it is kind of a, you know, it kind of aims for you, you know, according to those keyboard and mouse players. So definitely put this on. It's very effective. When it comes to gyro aiming, you could put this on if you want. I don't typically use it because I'm just a traditional controller player, but if you wanted to mess with these settings, you definitely could. When it comes to aim response curve type, dynamic is the way to go. Statistically speaking, standard and linear don't help you as much as in terms of dynamic. There's been videos made on this topic like years ago, and dynamic is what I've been playing on since Modern Warfare 2019. Obviously, if you want to play on standard and linear and that feels better for you, then you can go for it. But statistically, dynamic is just the better aim response curve type to be on if you want the stickiest of aim. Next up, we're going to go into custom sensitivity per zoom, and you want to have this on. When it comes to having low zoom, 2x and 3x and 4x and 5x zoom, you want this at 0.9. And then with the higher zoom optics, you want it at 1.20. You want to be a little bit more accurate when you use these zooms because they're not as sluggish as well. So slowing their aim down a bit will allow you to be more precise with these types of zooms. With the higher zooms, they're a little bit more sluggish and they feel kind of heavy to use. So that's why I put them up a little bit to 1.20. But it's up to you at the end of the day if you want to keep this all uniform or change it up a bit. When it comes to inputs dead zone, I usually have, I think these are the default ones, if I'm not mistaken. I have 0.08, 0.08, 0.99, 0.99, 0.10, 0.14. If you want this, your 6 to be a little bit more responsive, then you can obviously change these values down or up depending on how you want to feel about it. But it's up to you at the end of the day what your dead zones are. These pretty much help you avoid stick drift as well. So if you have some kind of stick drift, you can obviously put it up a little bit more, and that way you won't have to deal with stick drift, which is always nice. Another important controller setting here is auto move forward. I like having this off because it's similar to, you know, automatic sprint. You don't want to have it on because it could screw you over in terms of campers, so just have it off, please. And yeah, when it comes to the rest of these controller settings, I haven't changed them, so they're obviously all personal preference. You can look through them and change them up, but these are basically my full controller settings to help you play at the best of your ability. I've used these controller settings since basically Modern Warfare 2019, and I've performed at a high level since, so it's up to you if you want to change any of these settings to fit my personal playstyle, or if you want to like change, you know, use some of them, but then also change some of them for your own playstyle at the end of the day. Okay, so since I've gone over my controller settings already, I might also show you guys my graphics settings and my audio settings. I'm not really going to explain any of these just because, you know, it's all kind of based off of the PC or console that you're using, just in case you guys are curious. I do have a 3080 Ti GPU and all that. I have a pretty high-end PC. You know, I don't have a 4000 series card or anything, or else these settings would be a lot more higher. I don't run a dual PC setup either. But yeah, these are the general like overview of my settings. I maxed out my field of view. I play on independent over affected because with independent, I'm able to see opponents at farther range a lot more easily. And that's why I play on independent. People think I'm weird for that. But if you play on affected, you can play on affected. I just prefer independent because it makes me aim better. I also have wide weapon field of view, so I have more peripheral vision. My gun looks smaller. That way I can, you know, be more aware of my surroundings. Third person field of view should be max as well, and vehicle field of view should be wide, so the vehicle looks a little small as well. Make sure that these two, first person and third person camera movement, I think this is on console as well. You can also, you should put this at 50% so you don't get that much shakiness, and this pretty much lowers recoil, which is pretty insane. And everything else here doesn't matter. So those are my graphics settings. When it comes to audio, I have a PC audio mix. I don't know why, but I used to use headphones-based booths, but now that I'm on PC, I tried PC, and for some reason, I just feel like I can sound whore a little bit better, and I can listen to footsteps a little bit easier. But if you're not on PC and you're on console or whatever the case is, you can stick to headphones-based boost or home theater. I believe True Game Data has done like some testing on audio, and that's what he pretty much came to the conclusion of, that home theater works out for him. But at the end of the day, this is kind of personal preference, I feel like. Master volume should be the highest. Music volume should be very low or 0 because it really doesn't matter. When it comes to dialogue volume, you want to have it somewhere in the middle so you can still hear, you know, callouts from teammates or enemies or whatever the case is. But effects volume should be all the way up as possible. That way you can hear footsteps as much as possible because this is where the footsteps are always going to be heard. Everything else here doesn't really matter, I believe. Everything else here should be default, which it is. And then when it comes to interface, I think the one most important thing that you should notice on here is the minimap shape. It should be on square. If you have minimap shape at round, that is not good because a circle has less surface areas than a square. So make sure that it is on square. And other than that, I believe that is it. You know, telemetry, you can have these three on if you're on console or PC. And I think that's all you really need to know. So let me know if these controller settings help you. They have definitely helped me get to the best of my ability here in Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely check out my previous videos to see some really great class setups and nuke gameplays so you guys can learn even more from me. And if you guys want to see even more tips and tricks from me, try to get this video to 2,000 likes. I don't usually do tips and tricks here on YouTube because those types of videos don't really do well for me. But if this really helped you, definitely show that support, and I would appreciate that greatly. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Check me out on all of my social medias. I should be streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/themarkofahero, and I'll be uploading or double uploading every single day on this channel. Thanks for being the best audience ever, and I'll see you guys on the next one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see these gameplays live, make sure you guys go ahead and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/themarkofahero. I interact with the chat, and we have a good old time roasting ragers and nuking fools. Also, if you guys want to see even more videos from me, check me out on my second channel, More Hero. On that channel, I'll also be uploading additional Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer gameplay, as well as potentially Warzone 2. I really love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being a beautiful audience. And without further ado, I hope you guys have a good fucking day. Stay awesome and keep being big ballers. I love you all.